The U.S. government is putting more pressure on Europe in the ongoing tariff and trade war. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is pushing for the UE to get on board with higher tariffs on China, India, and other countries that buy Russian oil and gas. Now, this comes after the Trump administration added another 25% tariffs on goods from India, hoping to pressure them to stop doing business with Moscow. There are risks to this plan, though, with a possible price increase for European goods here at home and the chance that other countries take their business elsewhere.
Instead of crying for what we lost, let's look for other ways to get it. The world is huge. The world is eager to do business.
Now, meantime, the Trump administration says the tariff policy has been a success, claiming it could generate hundreds of billions of dollars to pay down the national debt. Some countries are now pulling back on weapons purchases from the U.S., including Spain, who canceled a multi-billion-dollar order for new F-35 fighter jets. Well, joining us this morning is the Washington State Department of Commerce Director, Nguyen. Thank you for being with us this morning. So
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's start out in our state. What products are being impacted the most by these tariffs?
Well, as we all know, Boeing and aerospace is a very big component of our economy, and that certainly has an implication associated with it as well. And then also on the agricultural side, so a lot of our goods that we produce in Washington State go abroad. And we saw this happen during the last administration as well, during the last Trump administration, where we still haven't gone back to the same levels as we were there. But this shows up in a variety of ways in Washington State. Your insurance costs for cars might actually go up as well, because a lot of those parts are coming from areas that are impacted by tariffs. So this happens to be impacting all of us across Washington.
Yeah, for sure. And we continue to watch the border crossing as well. I know in June it was down 50% of tourism coming in, and in July it was down just 28%. But businesses there in Whatcom County are worried that there will be a huge drop in tourism, specifically Canada, because of those tariffs. What have we seen so far, and is this going to recover?
Yeah, I think the tourism is down, specifically in border states that obviously generally will get a lot of Canadian traffic. We've actually seen companies, say for instance, even in Canada, that were looking to site facilities or build things here in Washington State, and they're kind of on hold. One of the things that the tariffs will impact too is business decisions. If it's unclear what your margins are going to be because of these tariffs, you don't act. So a lot of investments that we were going to get in Washington State likely are on pause, but hopefully, we can show that Washington State is going to be a good partner going forward, and we can get through this as well with them.
Yeah, and we hope to do that not only for Whatcom County and trickling all the way down to Seattle. So is the state offering any support for those business owners?
Yeah, so I'm actually in Central Washington at the moment, meeting with a number of community leaders that are impacted in this space. The most tangible way is that on our website at commerce.wa.gov, we have tools for those who are either small businesses, importers, or exporters. We have been working to help diversify the streams in which goods can go. We're also trying to provide a space where if you're a small business or a business owner that just needs the latest updates, we're happy to help coordinate in that space as well. But the biggest thing that we can do is really show up with our partners because, for instance, one of the biggest tariff impacts was going to be with China. The Trump administration has now put a pause on that for another 90 days. So we don't actually know how to help people because we don't know what the implications are with tariffs just yet. So our goal is to ensure that we are in close contact with our local jurisdictions, with our business communities, to ensure that we are providing them real-time feedback and support as needed.
Yeah, and communication is key here, right? Because like you said, we just don't know what's going to happen with the tariffs. One day they're on, the next day they're not, and then they're lower and higher. So if and when President Trump removes the tariffs from certain countries, will consumer prices drop back to what they were before the tariffs, or do you believe the prices will kind of just stay where they are and we'll try to get used to it?
Well, we're seeing prices go up a little bit. What I worry about is a lot of individuals or a lot of companies front-loaded some of their supplies, knowing that tariffs might be coming in. And that's starting to run out a little bit, I think, in September. And then you mentioned before this piece as well about the billions of dollars being raised. Well, that's being raised by consumers in the United States. So consumers pay for the tariffs. So I do think that cost is going to rise. It depends on the industry as well. And I do worry that that's going to have certainly an impact on our most vulnerable communities.
Yeah, for sure. And we can already see a lot of that happening right now. So the Department of Commerce recently launched a tariff impact survey that businesses across the state can fill out. So as of now, are there any findings from those surveys that are notable? Is it too early to know?
Yeah. Well, the vast majority of businesses have stated that they are impacted by it in some way or another. And the first thing that they say is that it's going to raise costs of goods as well. And when you look at, businesses in a time where there's already high interest rates and a lot of uncertainty, given the fact that we just came off of the pandemic, I do worry that a lot of our businesses may not be able to survive this turmoil that's happening right now. And again, I will say largely in the agricultural community where in the Yakima area, one of the processing facilities has gone under because of shifts in the market. And we're seeing farmers that were ready to harvest and sell their goods not be able to actually sell it. So one of the things we're trying to do is figure out new opportunities for us to get that out. So those are some of the most visceral impacts that we see in our communities, and candidly, oftentimes in the most rural communities as well.
All right, Joe, thank you so much for breaking this down. We could probably talk about this for a lot longer, but our time is being cut short here. We hope you joined us again, and we'll continue to follow the ever-evolving tariff situation in the U.S. here.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.